I know you wrote an article. Brown's moves are practical but uninspiring with quarterback unsettled. Take us through that article.
Well, it's just kind of the way when you look at it, the moves are, logical or just filling some holes, no splash. The splash as we see now is re-signing Myles Garrett, and that's great. I'm not downplaying it, but you were 3-14 with Garrett last year. Basically, you're just treading water by re-signing Garrett. Obviously, it'd be a big hole if you just let him go. But the idea was if you did, you would get a haul and a trade. So, with that being said, that's your big move. Now, what are you going to do to improve the team? Now, granted, they're a long way from having to play a game, but I feel like, okay, you might have improved a little bit in the pass rushing with Malik Collins, might be the most notable pickup on defense, and Joe Tryon, Shanka, maybe a competition untapped potential at edge rusher, re signed Devin Bush, Tony Brown. Um, on defense and Jerome Baker, that tends to point to me more of the status of JOK. And then on offense, which we felt all along, you're dead last in the NFL at 15 points a game, is getting some weapons, some playmakers. You made three moves to date. Basically, Kenny Pickett, who I would consider being in competition to be the backup or the third team quarterback. Maybe, they'll tell him he can compete. Right now, he's the only guy you got. And two offensive linemen for people that like the idea of getting new linemen. That's where they put the most emphasis. The the Tevin Jenkins is kind of interesting because NFL.com had him ranked as like the fourth best guard in free agency. We haven't seen, or I haven't seen the contract, which would tell you what they think of him because he's primarily been a starter. And are you bringing him in to start and then going to trade Wyatt Teller or somebody like that? And Cornelius Lucas again, solid pick, a swing tackle that has been a starter in his career. So what I'm saying is they're practical moves, but nothing that's going to like, wow, that makes a big difference. And so far in free agency, they didn't do that. I don't know if they really can do that. They're sitting here now down their top three safeties from last year. Not all of them. Three of their top five, and Rodney McLeod and Juan Thornhill. And right now, you don't really even have a starter opposite Grant Delpit other than Ronnie Hickman, unless you're just going to hand him the job. So I expect them to make a move, but you can't address all these moves in the draft. You have 10 picks, but you right now, are still down a couple starters, and you would hope you'd use your first two picks, maybe three picks to get starters.